Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. And welcome to the Tech Show, TechByte here on Salam Media. My name is Faizel Patel. Inshallah, will be in your company until about 7:30 p.m. this evening. Unfortunately, we couldn't start earlier due to some technical difficulties, but with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's permission, at least we get some time in before we end the program. There's a lot to speak about, but I'm going to try to summarize everything in about 15 minutes. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to show you some pictures and videos about what we were supposed to speak about anyway, but you can go to the Citizens website and search for the topics I spoke about, or you can go to my Twitter handle and inshallah you can check it out there as well. So, as I mentioned, you can interact with me on at Twitter at Faizel Patel 143, on Instagram at Faizel Patel 143, on Facebook.com// Faizel Patel, and then I'm also on YouTube at Faizel Patel 143. There was a lot of announcements this past week. One of the big ones was Huawei, and they've unveiled a product which I think excuse me, is going to be extremely good. A lot of people interested in it, including myself. It was really amazing products. This coming week on Wednesday, Samsung will be releasing the new smartphone. Now, I have managed to take photos and videos of this new Samsung phone, and unfortunately, I can't share it with you today because I signed an agreement called an NDA, which is a non disclosure agreement, and we're not allowed to say anything about the phone until the 1st of February. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to tell you about it, but I can tell you what they told us just a little bit without giving the products away. And then another thing quickly we're going to be touching on is I had an interview with a person called Sia Kolisi. Now, if you don't know who Sia Kolisi is, well, basically, he's the Springbok rugby captain, and he's now formed a relationship or a partnership with the computer company, the tech giant Lenovo. So I'm going to be touching on that in a few minutes as well. I really enjoyed speaking to Sia Kolisi. It's my first time, obviously, interviewing the rugby captain, and I was quite overwhelmed and chuffed as well. Very humble individual, so we'll be speaking a little bit about that. But let's come on to the Huawei story. I think absolutely phenomenal. For those that have seen my Twitter handle, excuse me, you'll see the product's absolutely nice. It comes in three colors, looks like black, white, and there's a vegan orange. Absolutely love the orange. It is leather. So they unveiled this Mate 50 Pro, and they unveiled free buds, and they unveiled the MatePad SE, and that's a 10.4 inch. So it was the Mate 50 Pro that grabbed all the attention on the night. And I did speak to Akram Mohammed. We had him on this particular show before, and he was supposed to come on, but unfortunately he had to travel. So if you check out my Twitter handle, you'll find that video of Akram there, and he explains everything about the Mate 50 Pro in about 60 seconds. So check that out, right? And then Huawei also launched, excuse me, also launched the free Buds 5i. These are the new buds. I actually love the Huawei buds. They got active noise cancellation. They just sit nicely into the ear compared to the other ones that I have and I've tried to use. They look very nice as well. And then they unveiled also the Huawei MatePad, as I mentioned, the SE, a wonderful device, especially for the kids. You can set screen times and a whole lot of other stuff, and it is quite reasonable as well. And then one of the things that they've unveiled, I think it's something that maybe you see out of a futuristic movie. Well, you can see that I have my Huawei watch on here, right? This is the Huawei Watch GT3 Pro. Now, on the night, Huawei also unveiled the Huawei Watch Buds. Now, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, like it takes this watch here, right? It's a little bit thicker than that, but you can flip the face of the watch open, and in the watch, underneath the screen, there is two buds in there. That is the Huawei free buds, custom made, very thin, small, and it sits in the watch, right? And then the watch actually charges them. So for those that listen to Quran all the time, or you listen to Nizams all the time, or if you're non-Muslim, or if you listen to music, which Muslims shouldn't be doing, then if you use your buds all the time, you can actually have it on your wrist by flipping over the screen. Now, it's very difficult to explain what I'm actually talking about. So if you want to check out the video, because I actually played with it, it is quite thick, thicker than this particular watch. But if you want to check out that particular the watch, you can go to my Twitter handle, and I've actually posted there. I mean, it's a nice watch. It's not bad. If you carry your buds all the time, or your earbuds all the time with you, that's the speakers, then you can keep this watch as well. It's a smart watch. It's got all the bells and whistles, but it's a bit thicker as well compared to the ones I have. And I think it's a wonderful product, for at least for those people that actually love to carry their buds with them all the time. All right, let's come on to our second story for this evening. And I'm rushing through this because unfortunately we did have some technical difficulties. So I was mentioning that I had an interview with Sia Kolisi. For those that don't know who Sia Kolisi is, he's the current Springbok captain, and he's decided to move to France. He's going to be playing rugby for a new team there. He used to play for the Sharks. He's now going to play playing rugby for a team called Racing 92 in France. And he spoke to me, and I asked him a few questions. So basically, he said he hopes his documentary, which has been released now, it's called Rise, the Sea Story, will inspire all South Africans, irrespective of race, creed, or color. So extremely exciting, and he is a very, very humble individual, in a sense that there were certain questions I couldn't ask him, and I asked him those questions, right? But he's like, no, 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 don't apologize. There's no need to apologize. And I'm not angry and that kind of stuff because, I didn't want to sort of blow the interview. And then speaking about inspiration, he said Rise, the Sia Kolisi story, will be launched this coming weekend. As I mentioned, it was launched. And he spoke about how he wants to inspire children in the township, to follow his in footsteps. And then we speak about technology, his partnership with Lenovo, and how it helps him communicate with his wife, Rachel, and their children while he's away on rugby tours. He added that he never grew up with technology and that he wants to make it accessible to the remotest of areas. He said, where I come from, we never had technology. We only had a TV for a couple of years, and the kids in the township still don't have that. So that is very, very true, especially in the rural areas where, in the farmlands and all those areas where kids do not have a TV, never mind internet. And I suggested to Sia Kolisi that perhaps he form a relationship or an agreement, a short-term agreement with Lenovo to supply maybe laptops and internet connectivity to these children, especially in the rural areas, because when a World Cup takes place later this year, there's a Rugby World Cup, at least these kids will have access to watch the games and watch it in action. Now, again, if you want to read that story, it's available on the Citizens website at citizen.co.za, and it's called Sia Kolisi, all right? Wants to inspire South Africans with Ubuntu. Very, very nice and very, very motivational and inspirational story. And again, just a huge thank you to Sia Kolisi for affording me the time to speak to him for a few minutes. All right, coming on to our second last story for this week. This coming Wednesday, that's the 1st of February, I wrote a story and it's titled Samsung to Woo. That's WOOO and who users with the new Galaxy smartphones. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because I managed to play with these new smartphones that's going to be released this coming Wednesday. Unfortunately, I can't give any details away because I will get number one. And secondly, we've signed NDA agreements. So I'm not allowed to actually share that with anybody. So you'll have to get to see it yourself. That's happening this coming Wednesday. So it will be live streamed. Just check the Samsung website. Let me give you details what I could share. So as I mentioned, the next Galaxy device is expected to take place The launch of this actually takes place on the 1st of February in San Francisco, that's in California, under the theme Who is Coming. The event, as I mentioned, will be live streamed to South Africans on the various platforms. Now, Samsung is expected to announce the Galaxy S23 lineup smartphones during the Unpacked event. If the company follows, now I know what it is, but I'm just giving you a teaser. If the company follows its established name pattern, which we fully expect it will, that means we should see the Galaxy S23, the Galaxy S23 Plus, and the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Note, I'm not giving you any other details besides the name. Now, those names translate into phones with size, pricing, and specs that line up with the good, better, and best approach. Some of the leaks that were shared online about the new smartphones included zoom processing, low light photography, and design detail, as well as reported release of an ISP, and that's an image signal processor. I'm sorry, I can't give you more than it. All I can say is South African journalists were on Wednesday given a sneak preview of the devices, and we actually got to play with them. While the photo specs and other features, including pricing of the awesome new devices, has been embargoed until next week, the smartphones are expected to be a hit with users who love photography. So if you love photography, then this phone is going to be a hit for you. I suggest, right, that you keep in touch or you check out the Samsung website and ensure that you register for this, because you don't, you're going to miss out, because especially if you love Samsung devices. It's an amazing, amazing phone. I can't tell you more. I wish I could tell you more, but I can't. But all I can say is that it is just absolutely phenomenal, right? And I got to play with it, and it's going to really, really blow your people's minds. I mean, it's just something that is astounding and really beautiful. All right, coming on to our last story for this evening. We just got about 2 minutes left. I mentioned last week that I am currently reviewing one of the hybrid cars. That's the Haval H6 HEV. So the Haval H6 HEV. It is a hybrid. It means it's not fully electric. It's petrol and electric motor. And I've driven this particular car for 1 week. And I can tell you that I was just truly, truly overwhelmed by this car. I mean, it is just a car or an SUV that is filled with innovation, technology, and gadgetry that you have never seen in your life. I mean, it is absolutely amazing, right? But the best part about the car, and I'm busy with a video at the moment, is how it saves you money, right? And how it saves you money on petrol and how it saves you petrol. I mean, we know that the petrol is going to come in this coming week, probably on Monday or Tuesday. And from Wednesday, the price is going to go up. We're talking about significant increases. This particular car will save you a lot of money on petrol. It is quite pricey because it's a new entry that's called under the new energy segment. And I just want to add that the Haval H6 HEV is one of the 2023 SA Car of the Year finalists in the new energy category. So look out for that video coming onto my YouTube channel. It is a pleasure to drive. It's just got so much gadgets. The heads-up display where you can see the speed on the windscreen. It's got self-parking. That means the car can park itself. It's just absolutely phenomenal. It's got Apple CarPlay. It's got Android Auto. It's got 360-degree views of the cameras. It's got an electric motor. I mean, it is just phenomenal. You have to check out my Twitter handle to see some of the pictures that I posted, but look out for that video that's coming out soon, inshallah, on YouTube. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this week's show of technology on TechByte here on Salam Media. Sadly and unfortunately, and we do apologize for bringing you such a short show. This is due to technical difficulty, but inshallah next week we will have a full and packed show for you again. Remember, tomorrow is Monday. A lot of things, I actually want to share to my Twitter handle, a lot of things happen on a Monday. It is a blessed day. I mean, as far as Islamic events are concerned, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was born on a Monday. He passed away on a Monday. He traveled to Medina. He arrived in Medina on a Monday. He left Mecca on a Monday. So there's 11 things actually that happen on a Monday. While some people will complain about Mondays, we should look at the positivity of it and make dua that Allah Subhanahu make it a beautiful, beautiful day for us, inshallah. So I take this opportunity to say, make dua for the ummah, make dua for all the people that are going through difficulty, and most of all, make dua for yourself and for all the marhumi that have passed away. For myself, Faizel Patel, and my engineer for this evening, Brother Sadiq, until next week, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.